Hi guys, it's Jacob from Stringbuzz here, stringbuzzworld.org being the music journalism site, links are in the description down below. And we have a brand new song review for you today, and it's the latest track by Tonight Alive, and that's World Away. So I'm going to refer to the original article as I usually do for these videos, so I hope you enjoy. Now, even though Tonight Alive are one of the most popular groups on Hopeless Records' list right at this moment, I still must admit I've never really dived into their discography, despite me being such a fan of the label and all the bands included in the label. But I saw that this track has a brand new lyric video that was just posted to YouTube, so I thought I'd give it a little listen. So shall we see what I thought of it? Well, I thought it was okay, and it is basically your typical alt-rock ballad, but perhaps even slightly better than the average, but it is butchered by very lazy mixing. I think there are some great elements in here, and I think there are some decent sequences added too, but everything has been produced very poorly for me, especially for a group of this popularity and fame. This is like your typical first outing for, say, like an independent group. This isn't really of the Hopeless Records standard, in my personal opinion. I think the vocal performance, though, on this track is really solid, a really strong vocal performance, in fact. I think the transitional work is great, especially in the percussion, but it is a little safe and a little bit predictable otherwise. It's good at what it tries to achieve, but what it's attempting to achieve doesn't really excite me all too much, if you really get where I'm coming from. Production-wise, the producer or producers that have produced this track should probably be ashamed of themselves for allowing such basic errors to remain in this mix. All the dynamic range for this track has been completely stripped in favour of noise gating and over compression to heck. Even other commenters and fans are noticing that each layer in this track has been over normalised and drained of its natural tone to the extent that everything actually sounds really thin. For a track like this, you need a big juicy texture, and one which also has this really thick and wholesome low ground that's impactful as well. That's always helpful. A mid ground that is driving and full of exciting timbres, and a high ground that practically glistens with all the cymbal work and any harmonies, anything like that. But this track just sounds really plastic to me and clunky, and that is down to overcompression overall. The guitars are a little bit limp for me, the bass is barely there, sounding very thin, the drums are a little clanky from part to part, and the only layer that has really been mixed appropriately is the vocal take, which I will say has been mixed very well. When it comes to the musicality of this track, I do understand what they were trying to go for here, and for the most part, they did it fairly well. I liked how they added some anthemic and tom-infused transitions, which sounded very good in my opinion, to create some more impact than your usual / typical ballad. I also thought the melodies were very good on this song, the vocal performance was great, and the overall momentum of the track was actually fairly strong. However, it didn't stick out from the crowd at all in my opinion. Although there are some catchy melodies, as I've said, here and there aren't any stylistic qualities or recognisable moments that would really pull in a casual listener like myself. Like, if this track had just come on after I'd already listened to Tonight Alive before, I probably wouldn't even recognise it as their track. I'd just say it's just another like ballad you'd usually hear in like HMV sometimes. It's much more functional than exciting for me, and because of that it did feel a little robotic, hence meaning that the emotional weight was perhaps missing throughout the track's runtime, and I think that's an important aspect you have to get right. Lyrically, it is a little bit sappy, it is a little bit corny, but it's fine, and it did the job as far as I'm concerned. So all in all, the track is fine, with the potential to be a little more than fine, but not quite hitting that potential. So I still gave it a G rating of 5.5 out of 10, which is ever so slightly above average. So if you like this video, then please leave a like, subscribe to see more, and I'll see you around next time. Bye-bye.